Everyone to the first ever virtual event with Tasha Q. I'm so excited to introduce her today. This will be a very, very special call. I'm like super excited. Let me tell you about Tasha. She's had an entrepreneur spirit since she was in elementary school. She went to school and got her bachelor's and master's in kinesiology. She and her husband now run multiple businesses, but started out in a small apartment and has months where they didn't know where, they've made it. She's mentored by 7- and 8-figure earners. She's spoken in front of hundreds of people, and she's with us today. And I'm just so excited to bring her up. I'm so excited to introduce my very, very good friend, best friend, Tasha Q. Everyone do a virtual clap.
Thank you so much, Miss Anna. Can we go ahead and give Miss Anna back a virtual clap? Thank you so much. And I can't tell you how much I love this girl. I mean, she's been there through thick and thin. I'll call her at any time and she's always there to pick up. I mean, we've talked about things that probably nobody else knows about us, and that's something that makes us the good friends that we are. So I want to thank you, Anna, and I love you so much. So welcome everyone again. Like she said, my name is Tasha Q, and I'm so excited that everyone is here today. I see there's people on from everywhere around the world. We have San Diego in the house. We have Australia in the house. We have Texas. We have Hawaii. We have Mexico. We have people from India. We have people from everywhere. And I am so excited to be here with you ladies today. Miss Tamika, I love your hat. I love it. So ladies, if you can, go ahead and turn your cameras on. But what I'm gonna do is, before we get started, I wanna tell everybody kind of a little bit about myself and why I even decided to put this group, or that group text that you guys are a part of. If you love the group text, let me know in the chat, because I put that together thinking if there was something that I would want, what would I want? And that was one of the things, just daily motivation from someone that I can feel like I'm friends with or that I know. And yeah, so that's why I put that together. But my name's Tasha Q, like you heard, and I actually live here in Fresno, California. And a long time ago, I knew that I was gonna do something that was gonna leave an impact, and that there was just something that I had to do to help other people, and specifically women. So when this whole idea of this group came up, what was going on at the time was I was still living at home before I went off for college. And I'd always watch my mom and my grandmas and just everyone. And I was just thinking, I mean, they do so much for other people, but are they really happy? Right? I mean, my mom basically gave up her whole life to take care of my dad's family when she got married, and coming from a Middle Eastern background, that's like super important. The girl's supposed to move in with the guy, you pop babies, become a housewife, all of that stuff, right? And I always thought to myself, I'm like, but what about what my mom wants to do? What about my mom's dreams? What about her goals in life? Like, wasn't there something that she always wanted to do that she never got to do because she sacrificed her whole life bringing us up? And I went back and I thought about my grandma, her mom that raised her. And same thing. I mean, she got married, and after she started having kids, she kind of had to let go of her dream. So I started thinking, and I was like, I wanted to be the one in my family to break that cycle. And I did. I got to break that cycle. And then I started thinking, I'm like, how many other women are there that are still in that cycle? How many women are just told like, hey, you can't do this just because you're a woman, or you can't do this just because of the color of your skin? And they have to let go of their hopes and dreams. And I don't believe we should have to do that. I believe that everybody deserves to go after their dreams. You shouldn't have to sacrifice your whole life for somebody else. Yes, when you have kids, yes, when you have a family, of course, I mean, take care of them, love them, do all of that. But in the end, you still have to take care of yourself too, because if you don't take care of yourself, you can't take care of anybody else. So when I put this group together, I had my mom and my grandma in mind, and that inspired me to help branch out to other women. I mean, there's women on here that I don't even know yet. There's women on here that I do know. There's some on here that I personally know, and I love them to death. And it's like, I just wanted somewhere where we could just come together, just kind of be laid back. It's not business or anything, even though I had to dress up for this call, guys, because I had to make you, know that it was me on the flyer, not anybody else. But it's just a place where we could just come together and just hang out. I mean, just girl talk. I want to empower everyone. I want to motivate everyone and just things like that. So again, I want to thank you all for coming. And I just want to teach everyone things that I've learned. So like she said, we get mentored. We're blessed to be mentored by people that are earning 7 and 8 figures, and they've brought us, you know, they're bringing us up to their level, or they brought us up to their level. And I've spent thousands of dollars on personal development. Like, don't tell my husband, even though he checks the bank accounts and stuff, but he's just like, another course, another book. Like, didn't you, I ordered 8 books last month, and he looked at me like I was crazy. I was going to check the mail, and he's like, you never go to check the mail. Why are you checking the mail? And he's like, you ordered something, didn't you? And I mean, ladies, we're guilty of it, especially being at home. Amazon is our best friend. We order everything off of Amazon, right? So just all that time spent, hundreds and hundreds of hours taking classes, doing personal development. I mean, I can't tell you how much it's changed things for me. And that's what I want to help other women do, is because if you're not a part of certain industries, you're not really going to get to experience personal development like that. I mean, think about it. Self-taught entrepreneurs and stuff, you got to go do it on your own. It doesn't come with the manual. They don't tell you this is what to expect. They don't tell you what it's going to be like. All you know is my end goal, I'm going to be free, I'll make a lot of money, and that's it. Everything in between, they don't tell you about that. Everything that a woman has to go through, it doesn't come with the manual, right? Even when you have kids as parents, I mean, you wish your kids came with the manual, but they don't. And just to make things a little bit easier, if something that I've gone through can help somebody else, then I feel like I've done my part. And I know there's a lot of ladies on here. You are some fierce ladies, let me tell you, because I know some of you. Miss Houston, I don't know you yet, but I'm gonna know you, okay? I can already tell with that hair, I can already tell she's fierce. But I just wanted to thank you guys and just have this be a safe space for all of us and not feel like we just can't be open with each other. So can we do that? Can we do that? I'm so excited for you. Like, yeah, no idea. Hopefully the music that was in that music, I love J-Lo. For those of you that know me, Rocky, J-Lo, and Lions. Those are like my three things. Okay, Miss Sheldon, welcome. Just joined us from Houston, Texas. So before I get started, I'm gonna tell everyone a story. So if you want, you guys can take notes. If you want a special notebook just for these calls when we get together, just for the group, things like that, go right ahead. But I wanna let you know specifically that you are a masterpiece. And you might not know that, you might not believe that, but when God created you, he gave you something that he didn't give everybody else. And that's what makes you unique, and that's what makes you a masterpiece. So I'm gonna tell you a story about a teacup. So everybody has, or at least has seen a teacup, right? We all know what a teacup is. Now, when we look at it, we admire how beautiful they are. Some of them have a gold outline. Some of them have real gold plating in them. Some of them are fine china. Some of them have beautiful designs, but guess what? Each teacup is unique and none of them are the same. No matter if they have the same design on them, they're still not the same. So one day there was a couple in England that walked into the store, and in that store they had fine china and just antiques and collectibles. And the lady saw this beautiful teacup and she tells her husband, we have to go see that teacup. I have to get that teacup. And they go in there and this teacup started talking. And it started talking to her and he goes, lady, you don't understand. You don't understand. I wasn't always this way. I wasn't always this way. I started out as a lump of clay. And then what my master did was he took me and he rolled me. And then he patted me over and over and I yelled out. I was like, leave me alone. And my master just smiled and he said, not yet. So then I was placed on a spinning wheel and he spun me around and round and round and round. And I was so dizzy and I thought I was gonna throw up. And I told him, please stop, I'm dizzy, I'm gonna throw up, please stop. And then he looked at me and he said, not yet. So then I thought I was done. And then he took me and he put me in an oven. It was scorching hot. I thought I was gonna die in there. I was like, I can't take this. I can't take it. Open the door, let me out, let me out, let me out. And I kept knocking out the door and I just saw him through the flames just looking at me. And all he said was not yet. And then finally he opened the door and he put me out and I had a sigh of relief and I just thought to myself, okay, it's over. I can finally take a breath. And then he started painting me all over, and he put all this paint on me, and there were fumes everywhere, and I couldn't breathe. And I told him, please stop. Please stop. And he looked at me and he just said, not yet. And then for a second, the painting stopped. And then he picked me up again, and then he put me back in the oven, as if the first time wasn't it. He put me back in the oven. He put me back in the oven a second time, but this one was different. This one was hotter. This one was way hotter than the first one. I thought I was not gonna make it this time for sure. And I said, please, I started begging and pleading, and I knocked at the window, and I saw him through the flames again. And I could just see his lips moving, not yet. And then I knew there was no hope. I knew I wasn't gonna make it. I knew that this was it, I don't know if I'm ever gonna get out of this oven. I don't know if I'm gonna see the light ever again. And an hour later, he let me out. And I thought I was done for. He put me on a shelf and I waited there. And then another hour later, he handed me a mirror and he said, now look at yourself. And then I did. And I looked and I said, that's not me. That could never be me. That's not what I look like. And he said, I want you to remember something. I know it hurt when I was rolling you and when I was patting you. But if I had left you alone, you would have dried up and you would have remained a lump of clay. I know that when I put you on the spinning wheel, it made you dizzy and you probably wanted to throw up. But if I would have stopped you on the spinning wheel, you would have crumbled. And I knew that when I put you in the fire, I knew it was so, so hot. And I knew that it was painful. But had I not put you in there, you would have cracked. But then I know that the fumes were so bad when I was brushing you, when I painted you all over. But understand, if I wouldn't have done that, you would have hardened and you would have never, ever had any color in your life. And then if I didn't put you back in the second oven when you thought it was over, you wouldn't have survived for a very long time, because the second oven makes you stronger. And now you're a finished product. So I want you to understand that everything I did was to make you stronger and better. But when I started with you, I began with the end in mind. So just like that, I want you ladies to think about what phase you're in your life right now. So you might be in the patting phase, you might be in the rolling phase, you might even be in one of the ovens, you might even be in the second oven, and it's a bigger fire than the first one. But in the end, you turn out to be a masterpiece, because every single thing that you're going through is strengthening you for what's coming. The more discomfort you go through now, the bigger your calling is later. But if you don't go through the discomfort, you can't get to your calling. You just can't do it. You have to go through it. There's no other way. You can't go around it. You can't go over it. You can't go under it. You have to go through it. And isn't that what success is? Is going through a lot of stuff. Some of us might own our own business. Some of us might be working a 9-to-5. Some of us might be going to school. Some of us might be housewives right now. Some of us might be full-time wives, things like that. But guess what? There's things that only you can go through, and only you're going through because you have a bigger purpose. There's people out there that need to hear from you. There's people that need to know exactly who Miss Houston is, exactly who Miss Baker, Miss Natalie, Miss Eileen, Miss Castro. They need to know you. They need to hear your story, because you're a masterpiece. There's nobody else on the planet that has the exact same story you do. There might be people that have gone through similar things. There might be people that have experienced maybe 75% of what you have, but nobody's gone through exactly what you have, exactly the way you have, and come out exactly how you're going to come out of it. There's no one. And let me tell you something about you. So you were born a champion. You were born with an impeccable track record. You have 100% survival rate. You have survived every single thing in your life that you never thought you would. Think back to a time where you just thought you weren't going to make it. You just looked up, you're like, just take me now, because I don't know if I would come out of this thing, right? You were just in that second fire, like, I don't know if I'm going to make it. I don't know what your plan is for me, but I don't know how I'm going to get through this. But if you're here and if you're listening to the sound of my voice, you made it. You made it. You're here. So when I put this together and I called it the Boss Lady Movement, I said, look, every woman, whether she knows it or not, is a boss lady. You might not believe it yet. You might not think of yourself as one, but in the end, you are. Look at all the things in your life that you've gone through. Look at everything that you've done. Just look at how you've turned out. There are people right now looking at you saying, damn, I can't believe she did that. I can't believe she made it right there. I can't believe that's her. There's people right now looking up to you and you don't even know it. You don't even know who they are yet, but there's people watching, and there's always people watching. There's someone that you're inspiring and you don't even know them yet. I have, thank God, people from other countries, they'll message me and they say, something that you said changed my life. And that I knew I was going to hear that, but I didn't know when, or I didn't know how, or I didn't know with what I was going to hear it. So there's someone out there that's going to come to you and say, look, you changed my life. But just think about it. If you would have stayed back in your comfort zone, if you wouldn't have gone for what you wanted to do in life, you would have never gotten there. That person would have never had the chance to listen to you or to say, she changed my life. Think about it. Your journey, exactly what you've gone through, nobody else has it. So next time you feel down or you feel like, I don't know where I'm going, I don't know where this is headed, I don't know how I'm going to get through this, you think back to yourself and tell yourself, I'm a masterpiece. Look, you've been patted, you've been rolled, you've been put in the fire, you've been painted, you've been put in the fire again. There might be a third fire, fourth fire, it doesn't matter. But the thing is that you come out of it stronger. Think about boiling water. The same water that boils the egg gets hard. But when a potato is put into that water, what happens to the potato? It softens. But if you put coffee in that water, in that boiling water, what happens? It gives off this beautiful aroma. And I know, ladies, you could smell it right now. I smell that coffee. Miss Castro is making some right now. This coffee is addicting. It's addictive. So you just have to figure out, look, when I'm in hot water, which one am I? Am I going to be the potato? Am I going to be the egg, or am I going to be the coffee? You got to think about it. You got to think about, how much can I handle and how much am I willing to handle? Because God won't give you something that you can't handle. He only gives his biggest battles to his biggest soldiers and his biggest warriors. So if you know that that's you, go ahead and type it in the chat. Say, I'm a masterpiece. Tell yourself, I'm a masterpiece. Yes, Miss Houston, you better put that in there, girl, all caps. I am a masterpiece, because you are, and nobody can ever take that away from you. So a couple of things that I just want to lay out for you. Number one is, in order to be a boss lady, you got to have goals. You got to have goals. You got to write down, what is it that you want in life? Because you can ask for anything in the world and you'll get it. So let me tell you a story. I remember when I first got married to my husband, and we had we rented a small apartment. And this apartment was probably like 1,000 square feet or something like that. And we stayed there for 5, 6, 7 years. And we were just like, month after month. There were months where we did great. And then there were other months where we were just like, how are we going to pay for this? How are we supposed to afford a house if we could barely make it with an apartment? But what I didn't know then was something that I manifested in high school was going to come to light. I just had to be patient and wait for it. I just had to go through all the stuff. I had to go through the fires. I had to go through the fumes, all of that stuff. So in high school, my dad wanted to build his dream house. And he bought this property, and we went to go see houses. And there was this beautiful 2-story home, and it was like a mocha color outside, spiral staircase inside, all tiles, marble flooring inside, beautiful bathroom. The bathroom was as big as a room. And I just remember being there with my dad, and I was only like 13 or 14. And I said, I want a house like that one day too. And then I remember being in the apartment. I had forgotten all about it because I was trying to make ends meet here. And I was like, how that comes way later. I don't know how I'm going to do it. And then fast forward, the chance came where we were like, okay, it's time to buy a house. And so we go to see houses and, you know, we're looking, and then we find a house. And you know, like that feeling in your gut, ladies, that you get, and you're just like, this isn't the one, but I want it to be the one, right? You know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about. Whether it's a man, whether it's shoes, whether it's clothes or hair, whatever it is, you want it to be the one, but it's not the one. Okay. So that's what happened with the house. So we put in an offer on the house and we were so excited, but in my gut, I was just like, this isn't my house. But I was just getting a house just to get a house, right? Because we want to say, oh, I have my own house and things like that, because society's taught us that, right? So that didn't go through. We lost like 10 or 12,000 or something on that house, and it didn't go through. And after that, I was like, you know what? We're going to stay in this apartment and we're just going to save up a lot of money and then we'll buy a house later. So a couple months go by and it was a Sunday. And my husband was like, babe, there's an open house. And it's like, it's in a really good area. It's an open house. Let's just go look at it. And I was like, no, I'd seen that house on like Redfin so many times and I just skipped past it. I was like, that's an ugly house, right? Because you know how in pictures, it doesn't do it justice. And you know what I'm talking about. Okay. So I was just like, I don't want that. I don't want to be in that area. I want to be in that town. I don't want to be here. I want to be in that town. So, you know, we were thinking, okay, when we have kids, school district, this, that, all this stuff, all this technical stuff. And today we're in that same house that my dad wanted for all of us back in high school. Same exact builder, same exact color, 2-story spiral staircase with the marble flooring. So the universe will give you whatever you ask it, but you just have to be willing to withstand the time that it comes to get that. So you'll get it, but it's going to take time. You're going to have to go through the fire, the fumes, the padding, the rolling. All of these things are just different phases in our life. But when you put something out there, the universe, God, whatever you believe in, it's coming. You just don't know when. And that's the whole thing, that life doesn't come with a manual, right? We don't know what's going to happen. We don't know when we're going to get something. And talking about making something fit, I remember when I was younger and I went to the store with my mom, and I love puzzles for some reason. I don't know. I would look at the picture and I'd say, that's such a beautiful picture. And I'd pick up the prettiest puzzle I could find. And then I go home and I'm like super happy. I'm opening the box and I throw the lid away, and then I look inside and it's a bunch of little pieces. And I look at my mom and I was like, I think this is broken. I mean, it's just all pieces. Is this supposed to come together? I mean, I bought it because of the picture on the cover. And she said to me, no, look, every single piece that you need is in this box. Your job is to figure out how the pieces fit to make that beautiful picture that's on the cover. So I start working at it, and ladies, look, you know that one piece that you swear to God, it fits there. It fits right here. It doesn't go over there. It fits right here. And you do everything to try to make it fit. You turn it every single way. You think about cutting it because you're like, I can make it fit, right? I could cut that. Yes, Miss Collins. Yes, Miss that. I could cut this, right? I could make it fit. But in the end, you know that it doesn't fit there. So there's something in your life that you're trying to make fit that doesn't fit. It's that puzzle piece. It does go somewhere on the picture, but just not right there. It might not be right now. It might be later. It might be in one of the corners. It might be, yes, Miss Wendy, just like people in our lives. It could be a relationship. It could be one of your friends, one of your family members, one of your neighbors, one of your pets or something. I don't know who would do that to pets, but there's people out there. So it could just be something that doesn't fit, but you're just trying so hard to make it fit. So something that we have to learn is just let it fit where it does. Stop trying to force what's not meant to be, because if it's meant to be, it'll happen and you don't have to force it. But if you keep trying to force it, you might be messing up the plan that the universe or God has for you. No matter how much you want that puzzle piece to go there, it doesn't go there. So what you got to learn is how to read the puzzle pieces, how to look at the full picture and see where that piece fits in. And that's why you have to have goals. You have to know where you're going. So one of the homeworks that I want to give you is just write down your goals. It doesn't have to be a lot of things, 3 to 5 things. So let me explain a little bit on how we would set goals in the first place. What's something that you want to happen in your life by the end of this year? By the end of this year, we have 94 days left until the end of the year. So what's something that you want done by the end of the year? That could be one goal. Then the second thing, what's something that you want done next year? Perfect, Wendy, you go, girl, you're gonna get it done. I'm gonna help you. So it could be anything, anything. What do you want done next year? Do you wanna save up to buy a house next year? Are you looking at a new car next year? Do you wanna start investing in gold and silver? What is it do you wanna start your own business? What is it that you wanna do? What's that one thing been that you've been putting off for the longest time? Say, I'm not ready yet. I'm not ready. Look, Miss Natalie, she has all her goals. I'll show you guys my wall later. I have 2 vision boards up there and I'll train on that later too. See, you got this. So there's something that you want done that you've been putting off for a really long time. And a lot of people, we tend to put things off because it's going to get us out of our comfort zone. And obviously we're not comfortable. That's why it's outside of our comfort zone, right? So we have to learn how to stop letting our fear become our fence. We have to stop letting our adversity become our anchor. And you have to make your adversity your advantage. You have to just go for it. Look, you have all the puzzle pieces you need. You have everything you need right now. The woman that you are, you have it. The only thing that can happen is you go up from here. You're going to become a better version of you. But if you don't start chipping away at it every single day, is it really going to happen? Why do we have to sacrifice our hopes and dreams in order to just either raise a family or just work a job, make our bosses rich, right? There's something that you want to do in life. There's something that's pulling you towards it and you might be trying to fight it. Don't fight it. You better, if you want something, you go and get it, and nobody's going to stop you. And once you make the first move, the universe is going to start helping you to get there. But you have to make the first move. You can't say, hey, I need some help over here, but you're not willing to even take the first step. But you better believe as soon as you take that first step, that somebody's going to help you and they're going to come help you finish what you want done. But if you don't know what you want done, it's not going to get done. That's like trying to hit a target that's not there. You can't hit a target that isn't even there. Like, imagine sitting into your car and in the GPS you put in, I want to go to, I don't know. You put in, I want to go to, I don't know. Do you know where it's going to take you? No, because there's no, where are you going? There, you can't. You have to have a destination in order to take the journey. But if you don't even have a destination, the GPS doesn't know where to send you. It doesn't know where to send you. And sometimes you might have that destination in the GPS. So when you're driving and you have that destination in your GPS, how many of us have experienced that thing on your phone? It goes out for a split second and you're driving and it says rerouting and it just freezes and you get so frustrated because you're like, dude, I'm driving. Hello, I don't want to miss a turn. I have to know where I'm going. I don't want to miss a turn. But it said rerouting. So just know anytime that you're on your journey and you're going towards your destination, anytime something happens that throws you off that path, it's just rerouting. You're still going to get to your destination. You're just being rerouted. You're just going to take another street. When there's a street closed, it just means you just can't take this street, but you could take that one. You could take that one, you could take that one, but you just can't take that one. but you have to have faith that everything's going to be okay in the end and that you're going to get there. And that's what faith is, just believing even without seeing or knowing. So that's what I want to tell you ladies today is you just got to have that faith that you know that you know that you know that you're going somewhere. And you just have to know that all the pieces to the puzzle are already inside you. You don't need anything else. You have it. You are it. And if you weren't, you wouldn't be here today. If you're not dead, you're not done, right? There's a lot of people that didn't wake up today. There's a lot of people that didn't make it to this half of 2020. There's a lot of people that won't make it to 2021. But my mentor says every day above ground is a great one. And if you're still here, you still have something to accomplish. You still have something to finish. So get to it and just do it. Just do it because you have everything that you need. You're a masterpiece. So with that, ladies, if you have any questions, comments, type it in the chat, blow the chat up. We're going to take our group selfie for those ladies that have their cameras on. If you don't have your camera on, you got like 10 seconds to turn your camera on to be in the picture because we're going to post it everywhere on social media and we're going to say, I am a masterpiece. Thank you, Miss Allison. Who else we got? I haven't even checked the chat. Let's see. Miss Melissa, Miss Allison, Miss Wendy. Look at this. Look at this. Thank you, thank you, thank you. So if my MC can help, there's Miss Samara. Look at her. I love that background. That's a beautiful background. And then we have Miss Shezzy that I haven't seen in forever. I miss you all the way from ATL. Thank you, thank you, thank you. There we are, there we are. So if I can have my MC that is helping me, we can go ahead and take a picture. Just either send me a text or do something so I know you can hear me. Thank you, Miss Collins. Thank you, thank you. All the way from Australia. I don't even know what time it is, but I appreciate you so much for being on. And there's people on from Japan. 4 p.m. or a.m.? 4:30 a.m. Homegirl, you woke up at 4 in the morning for it. Thank you. 3. She woke up at 3 a.m. guys. That's love. That's love. But I think we're ready to take the picture. So everybody smile because they're going to be taking the picture. So smile. Yes, say I am a boss lady. Come on, Miss Castro, you better work it. I know that's not the pose you want on the picture. Awesome, awesome. Well, thank you guys so much. I will go ahead and leave the chat open. I think we're going to go ahead and play some music before we close it out. But I just want to tell you guys, I appreciate you all so much. And thank you all so much. You have what it takes. You are a masterpiece. So I'll see you guys in the chat. If you're not in our Telegram group, put in the chat that you want to be in the group. And I'll go ahead and add you guys in there. So take care, everyone. Ladies, kill it in the month of October, okay? Because ain't nobody as fierce as you. And I will see you all later on our next call that we'll be announcing soon. So take care, guys. God bless.